All right, we are back with a explanation video of how I mixed a song. This is Espresso Freestyle. I think I called it Super Espresso, but yeah, I'm just going to take you through the mix of it, not so much the recording of it, being as in it's already recorded, but I can show you what I used actually. So we're just going to get into it. Looks like I used the Neve 1073 on this at the 40 mark. I think that's a good mark. I think when you start getting around the right above the off, which it looks like a 55, and then 60, 65, 70. When you get into that 55 area, it starts to get a little too colory. Like it's starting to color it, distort it a little too much. And I want to be able to control that. I want to be able to control how much color I have. So I usually don't go up in this range, but I usually record from the 40 to the 50. That's that little sweet spot right there. I usually don't use any kind of the EQ. Is it useful? Sure. I just don't use it. And then I don't mess with the output fader or the dial right here. I don't usually touch those. And then here's the EQ right here. Mine's not pressed in, so I'm guessing I didn't use it. I think a pressed in means you used it. And I have it at the 50 roll off for that high pass, but I don't even think I used it. All right. And then for the compressor that I use, looks like I use the TubeTech compressor, the CL1B, should be the Mark II if I'm not mistaken. This is the UAD version, so not the soft tube, not the actual soft tube version. This is the UAD version. Also, again, in Luna, you can only use UAD plugins to record with. You can use anything to mix with, but you can only use UAD plugins to record with in Luna. All right. Don't get it twisted. So it looks like I did about a threshold of close to -10. So that's limiting that's the amount of compression that I did as like the threshold to say, do not go past this. And if you do, I want you to come back to this much. I don't know if I need to go into a deep dive of compression. That's another video. Again, I'm just talking about how I mix this song. And then I have an output volume of that much. My fast is here. Oh, also, if you click on this, it should show you, 7.7 dB. For my output, my attack is at 3.4. Release is at 4.3. And then the attack release select is at manual. And then the parallel compression is all the way at wet. And then this sidechain low cut is off. So didn't use it. Ratio 6:1. I don't know if I said that earlier. Let's see. And I created that as a template. So anytime I wanted to do vocal recording, I could just click that and it'll go straight to it. All right. So as you can see here, this is my main vocal. And then I just let this be called main copy. When you make a copy, it just calls it main copy. So I recorded to these two tracks. And I did all of this on this microphone. So if you're wondering, like, what did I use? It's this microphone is just on a boom arm, and it's going to a Cloudlifter, and then after the Cloudlifter, it goes into my Apollo X4. I have a little tag that I use. It's actually my wife's voice saying Super Hindo. So that's my tag. And then I have my main reverb. Looks like the Pro R. It doesn't even look like I really did anything to this. This might be the actual default. I might have made some changes to it, but it literally might be the default. And I might have changed nothing to it. My delay is Timeless 3 by Fab Filter. Looks like I have a quarter note delay on there. And then all of that's being fed to the main bus, which is API 560. I cut here at 31 and then do a little bit of a cut here at 63. Looks like I didn't touch these. A little bit of a cut here, 500. A little bit of cut here, 1K. Yeah, that's a boost. A boost at 2K. Didn't touch 4K. A little bit of a boost at 8. A little bit of a boost at 16. When you start getting in this range, it's like you might need a back off. Like you might need to just barely touch it because you will notice a difference. Did I change the output? Yeah, and I turned down the output a little bit. And then here's the distressor. Looks like I did a 10 to 1. A 10 to 1 on the distressor. Attack is a little above 5. I'm sorry, input's a little above 5. Attack, it's about 6.5. Release, looks like 2.5. Output, looks about 6.5. Mix knobs all the way to compression. Looks like I didn't turn these on at all. Neither one of these. Ratio, again, that's 10 to 1. So pretty straightforward, just change some knobs here. Didn't change the headroom at all. In case you're wondering, that's what that's for. And 10 to 1 opto, basically an LA2A, but I don't even put the settings for LA2A. So I don't even know why I did this. Maybe I usually mix to sound. So if I'm like, this sounds good, then just use it. Don't get trapped into the whole, I need to do this. Like I need to use this because somebody said this is the best thing, or I need to use that because somebody said, use what sounds good. And music is so fluid that you can just do whatever you want. And if people don't know, like if people can't tell, oof, then that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, oh well. And so that joint does not matter. So do whatever you want to do and break some rules. All right, so for the in and outs, looks like I have a simple Pro Q3. I did some cuts here. And then I have a de-esser on here. So I was putting my de-esser before my compression, and then I changed it. I ended up changing to put the compressor first because I thought once I compress, I'm going to have sounds that I don't want in there, like some S's that I want to get rid of. So in this one specifically, I'm letting you know that I'm not going to change this. So, to cover it up, like I had the de-esser before the compressor because I used to think, why would I want to compress something that I don't want in there? Which is why I put the de-esser first. I go, let me EQ to take stuff out, subtractive EQ, and then use the de-esser to say, get rid of all the S's, like everything that's sibilance, get rid of it. And then I'm going to compress what's left. I want to keep everything that's left. But now I do the opposite with my compressor and de-esser. I go EQ first, and then I use the compressor, and then I de-ess after the compressor. And you could probably thinking, well, why don't you just use 2 de-essers? I just haven't done that yet. I haven't experimented with that. It might sound phenomenal. Everybody might be doing it. I just don't, or I haven't. So there's my brutal honesty. And then pretty much most of these in and outs are very similar. You can see the same plugin plugins are on there. And then I just like pan them left and right. As you can see, they're like pan left, right, and different volumes so that they stick out. Like one sticks out more than the other, and that they just seem like they're all over the place. That's the whole point of using panning in that way, and volume change in that way. You don't want everything the same volume, and you don't want everything centered if you want a big vocals. They're very not chanty, but like it just sounds like multiple people, and I said things different ways, so that's why that is the way it is. No ad libs, I just call it everything in and outs. I guess I could have made ad libs, I just didn't. But let's do a quick listen through, and then we'll talk some more about it.
Super Hendo.
Espresso, get it from a Mando. I'ma be brief with the heat, I'm commando. Riding with the top down, feeling like a Mando. Big master whip, that's the same color Fago. Couple dime pieces and I'm tryna go at 8 go. Headed down to Mexico, I do it for the peso. All about the cheese, man, I'm tryna get the queso. Want that me espresso, get it by the caseload. Sabrina, come and let me talk to ya. Put me on a remix, I build it up like carpenters. Never did a pop song, I figured I would start with ya. Super and Sabrina, I'm tryna make it popular. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Don't nobody do it like Super Hendo. I'ma do it with the best, I can put it on the flow. No excuse if you didn't know before, now you know. Day and night, I be up at night, spending all the moonlight, this is my show. Bright lights, I be on a new flight, headed to a new site, always on go. Same plan, made it with my best friend, never gonna change, man, we know the code. New fans, they give me a new chance, I'ma make a new brand, Super Espresso. What you know about style? Flash my wrist like girls gone wild. Diamonds on my neck, dripping harder than my sweat. And I had to get a picky just to match this set. I got a gold rope chain that'll break your neck. I gotta call up Nike just to cash this check. Gotta keep it pimpin' when the pimpin' on deck. 9 to 5 living ain't worth my stress. Going full throttle, living life in the fast lane. Taking up in jets, popping bottles full of champagne. Got a couple supermodels, call me by my first name. Last name, rap name, homie, it's the same thing. I ain't tryna be cool, man, I'm tryna be flashy. Make my money with 100, that's sassy. Wonder who it is when we hop out the backseat. Hair done, nails done, colors that match me. Have her in the street and she act real classy. Take her back home, she gon' get real nasty. Day and night, I be up at night, spending all the moonlight, this is my show. Bright lights, I be on a new flight, headed to a new site, always on go. Same plan, made it with my best friend, never gonna change, man, we know the code. New fans, they give me a new chance, I'ma make a new brand, Super Espresso.
All right, so that was a good listen through. I tried to pull up some plugins while I was doing it, but let's go back, and I'm going to mute the instrumental and just play you everything from the beginning with, not everything, we're just going to do a quick listen through of everything and try to explain all of what is going on with the plugins, all right? By the way, so I've set this up like this because one of these is, I guess I can come up with the instrumental because I'm not using it. So the left side is one vocal, is the first like main vocal, like this one, this top one. And then the bottom one is this right side. So you can see the difference between the two.
Espresso, get it from a Mando. I'ma be brief with the heat, I'm commando. Riding with the top down, feeling like the Mando. Big master whip, that's the same color Fago. Couple dime pieces and I'm tryna go at 8 go. Headed down to Mexico, I do it for the peso. All about the cheese, man, I'm tryna get the queso. Want that me espresso, get it by the caseload. Sabrina, come and let me talk to ya. Put me on a remix, I build it up like carpenters. Never did a pop song, I figured I would start with ya. Super and Sabrina, I'm tryna make it popular. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Don't nobody do it like Super Hendo. I'ma do it with the best, I can put it on the flow. No excuse if you didn't know before, now you know. Day and night, I be up at night, spending all the moonlight. This is my show. Bright lights, I be on a new flight, headed to a new site, always on go. Same plan, made it with my best friend, never gonna change, man. We know the code. New fans, they give me a new chance. I'ma make a new brand, Super Espresso. What you know about style? Flash my wrist like girls gone wild. Diamonds on my neck, dripping harder than my sweat. And I had to get a pinky just to match this set. I got a gold rope chain that'll break your neck. I gotta call up Nike just to cash this check. Gotta keep it pimpin' when the pimpin' on deck. 9 to 5 living ain't worth my stress. Going full throttle, living life in the fast lane. Taking off in jets, popping bottles full of champagne. Got a couple supermodels call me by my first name. Last name, rap name, homie, it's the same thing. I ain't tryna be.
All right, so you can see how I ended up compressing this. Usually between 0 and 3 is the amount of gain reduction. And then also how I have shaped my vocal using some cut. Looks like I did around 390. I cut out about 3 dB, 3.28. And then at 1,471.6, I cut out negative 2.84 dB. And then did a roll off here at 48 hertz. Did a roll off there. And then it's the copy. It should be a copy. What is that? 380, 390. Yeah. So these are the exact same. There should be zero difference. And I just do that by copying the plugin over instead of like, oh, let me just put some random stuff in here. Don't do that. You want it to sound exactly the same. Like whatever main vocal you have or ad-lib, whatever, just copy the plugin over. All right. So that's that. That is how I ended up compressing that vocal over on that one. Let's take a look at one of the in and outs. Let me solo my vocal and then solo this.
Espresso, Mando, with the heat on commando, feeling like the Mando. Fago, where they go.
So as you can hear, I've kind of chopped out a good bit of this because it's just an in and out. Like I don't need to hear a crazy amount of that vocal. I just need to hear it. Like it's not that important. Does it need to sound nice? Yes. But it's not so important that I need all of this frequency. Plus, the more room it takes up, the less volume I have to play with. I don't know if you understand that, but like when you're mixing music, everything that's on that frequency graph of your EQ is volume. And you only have so much volume that you can use. Like whatever you see my monitor on my right side, it's showing me like how much volume I'm putting into right now. If there was background noise right now and just like a ton of noise, it would be taking up the volume. It would be taking up room. And I want me to stand out, like the main vocal. I want me to stand out. So the less real estate that is being taken up, the more you can add, like the more volume you can add. So your final mix and the master can be louder because you reduced all these other sounds that were taking up space. All right. So that's what I did there. This is another one. I guess I could have also showed you the compression.
Espresso, Mando, with the heat on commando, feeling like the Mando.
So again, looks like it stays between 0 and negative 3. With in and outs, you could really get away with like slamming the compression because again, it's not that important to hear it super clear unless you're like harmonizing or you're a singer or something like that and you really want those background vocals to like be super sexy and silky. Then yeah, like don't slam the compressor. Don't EQ the piss out of it. Like, just do what needs to be done for it to sound great. Like, only you, like whoever the engineer is, if you're just an artist and you're watching this to gain info about mixing and stuff like that, then yeah, like just do whatever sounds good. If you take anything from me, remember that. Do what sounds good. Don't do something because it's supposed to be right. Like, oh, I saw this guy say something on YouTube and he said, do this. Is that guy in the room with you, mixing with you? No? Okay. Do what sounds good, because that person was just doing it because it sounded good for their application. If it sounded bad, they wouldn't have done it. But for you, we don't know about you. We aren't mixing with you. We aren't in the room with you. So you need to do what sounds good for you. We can't tell you what to do other than do this to make sound. Don't go too loud. Like, those are the two things that are guaranteed to give you a good mix. Add enough gain to hear it. Don't make it too loud. That's the only advice somebody can give you that's 100% guaranteed to give you something that's going to sound quote unquote good. That's it. Other than that, do whatever you want to make it sound good. That's it. All right, here is another in and out take.
One for the money. Day and night, moonlight, this is my show.
And again, let me go to this reverb. Is it still Proverb? Yeah, I still use Proverb. Let me find, what am I doing? Oh, I don't even have one selected.
One for the money, two for the show. Day and night.
So something that's great about Proverb is there is an EQ. Like, this is, you see decay rate EQ, post EQ. Like, this is an EQ inside of the reverb. Like, it borderline looks like Pro Cube 3 or 4. I have 4, but this is an older session before I got 4. So this is why, you see I have Pro Q 3. But there is an EQ inside of this reverb. And something that a lot of people don't do or don't think about is EQing their reverb. If you EQ your reverb, you can take out frequencies that are just lingering in the air and that you don't need them. And again, the less sound that is just out there, the more real estate you can take up, the more room you can take up. Everybody loves loud music. So, not everybody, obviously, but everybody loves loud music. So you want to make the music as loud as possible, but sound crystal clear. So one thing to do that is to EQ your reverb so that you don't have too much sound just kind of floating around. And then also here is my delay, the Timeless 3. And this one looks like I didn't even pick a timer. It's just free flowing.
Day and night, moonlight, this is my show.
And you can kind of hear it delaying and whatnot, but this is an EQ. I can low pass this, high pass it, whatever. I guess I'll just show you.
Day and night, moonlight, this is my show.
As you can hear, when I had it in one spot, you could hear it and then you couldn't. It's because it was EQing out all those frequencies. So that EQ was being drowned out and then opened back up. All right. Looks like I have the time on 350. Don't know why. This is probably all preset. I probably didn't do anything to it. It probably just sounded the way that I thought would sound good. Sometimes I'm super critical with my mixes. I'm this has to be dialed in perfectly. And then other times I'm well, just throw the plugin on there and let it do what it do. Default. let the plugin just be the plugin. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes you have to tweak with the plugin for forever. Sometimes you just throw it on there and it just sounds fine. So I'm not saying be lazy and don't be overcritical about your mixes, but plugins are smart. Like people who make plugins are smart. Let that just be. Like let the plugin be. All right, so that's most of these in and outs. Like there's nothing too special about those. And that's pretty much the whole song put together. I'll show you some of the beat drops I did. So basically show you some of the characteristics of the song. Maybe I should unmute that. And then
Headed to a new site, always on go. Same plan, made it with my best friend. Never gonna change, man, we know the code. New fans, they give me a new chance. I'ma make a new brand, Super Espresso. What you know?
so right here, I was trying to go for a feel of like, kind of like disco. Like that's what this song kind of reminds me of. It makes me feel like very 80s, 70s, you know, like older music, just kind of like a vibing California feels to it. And so I put these drops in it because it made it like boom, 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 boom. Like it just kind of drops in there, right? So
New fans, they give me a new chance. I'ma make a new brand, Super.
that do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. And I just took that from here
New fans, they give me a new chance.
and I just copied it over because I wanted to keep hearing that same sound. And then this one is actually just this part. It's like an eighth or a fourth. Is it a fourth? Yeah, just a fourth. And I just copied that over to this point because that's what I wanted you to hear at that point. So I have this copied over up to there, and then I swapped it to that one so you can hear psh, psh, psh. All right, so listen to that again.
New fans, they give me a new chance. I'ma make a new brand, Super Espresso. What you know about style? Flash my wrist.
And so the reason why I did it that way is because I wanted to show you some foreshadowing on what's to come. Like we're about to, I know I did these beat drops right here. I know I gave you this same sound over and over again, but right here, I'm getting back into what the rest of the song is going to sound like. So, psh, 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 espresso. So that's why I did that way. All right. You want to create a mood. You want to create a feel in the song. You don't want something to sound too monotonous and not have like a bunch of rhythm to it. I also chopped up this beat a certain way because I don't think this song is actually like this long. What I mean by that is I'm pretty sure it's shorter, but
Last name, rap name, homie, it's the same thing. I ain't tryna be cool, man, I'm tryna be flashy.
and I don't even know what was supposed to be right there, but I obviously did a cut right there, and then I just roll off this little part right here. So that what that does is that fade, if you don't put that fade right there, what will happen is that clipped area where I cut it, you're going to hear like a click. It's an audible click, and it's not much. The average person might not hear it, but it's there. And if you don't roll that off, you'll hear it, and it sucks.
Tryna be cool, man, I'm tryna be flashy.
So I might have literally just like repeated like this area.
I can just cash this check, burn my stress. Going for a thought of living life, bottles full of champagne. Got a couple supermodels, call me by my first name. Last name, rap, tryna be cool, man, I'm tryna be flashy. Make my money with 100, that's sassy. Wonder who ever in the street and she act real.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the original beat really folded out, but I mean, and this all kind of looks similar. You know, it's not the transients aren't too crazy, but it is what it is. Looks like I did another beat drop here.
Take her back home, she gon' get real nasty. Day and night, I be up at night. Take her back home, she gon' get real nasty.
I just did that because I think it's cool. I think it's something that people will like to chant and say, take her back home, she can get real nasty. Like, I thought that'd be something cool to, like, beat drop into, back into the chorus.
Take her back home, she gon' get real nasty. Day and night, I be up at night.
So just jump back into the chorus with a beat drop. I think that helps, like, add some dynamic to the song, gets people's interest back up, piques their interest. So I think it's a really cool thing to do. Then I didn't do anything else to the beat after that. Like, it's just beat. So looks like a couple of drops. And that's pretty much it. That cut right there, how I manipulated it somehow, I do not know. This was that the tag that I was telling you about.
Super Hendo.
And I literally have that recorded, and like I have it recorded flat, like no plugins, dry, and I have it in a folder, and every time I do a song, I can just go into that folder and just like drop this wave file into the song so that I can just have it whenever I want to. I don't like re-record a new one. And again, it's my wife, so I'm not going to ask her to come in here like, hey, I need you to re-record you saying Super Hendo. Like, I just saved it from a song, and then I just use it all the time. I just reuse it and add different plugins to it, like add different reverb, delay. If I want to saturate it, I could do that. So whatever I feel like doing. Volume-wise, the beat is however I got it from YouTube. So I had to turn it down -10 here. And then it looks like I dropped it even more, like a -4 right here. Jackson, why'd you do both? I don't know. No, that's just what I did. So here's the thing. You don't want to record to a beat that's too loud. Because what happens is, so if your beat is taking up this much real estate, right? Well, I need a better example. All right, here's this bottle. If the beat is like, picture this whole bottle as all the room I can use on the song, right? So the whole mix is the volume of this bottle. If the beat is this loud from here, from the bottom all the way up, as this loud, that means the vocals can only take up this percentage. Does that make sense? So like, if it's taking up all this real estate, then my vocals only have so much range that they can take up. And if the beat is insanely loud when you're recording, then guess what your vocals have to be? Insanely loud. And that's the last thing you want. The last thing you want is vocals that are too loud for no reason. If anything, you want your vocals to be too low, because then you can always raise them up and you can manipulate them and give them as much color as you want. But if you start out with really loud beats, the vocals are going to have to be loud, and then your vocals are going to sound like trash because you didn't record them correctly. Recording is the most important part. If you have a horrible recording, your vocals are going to sound like trash. There's no amount of mixing that can save you. No Superman can come in and save your trashy vocals. All right. Brenda dropped your vocals. They're trash. All right. Now, if you want to record low, you will need to have a good compressor whenever, one, recording into the compressor, but then two, also the compressor that you use on your vocal. As I said, I used this LA2A right here. And then on my mix bus, I don't usually do this. I have no idea why I use this distressor. And again, the more you hear me talk about my mixes, the more I'll say that a lot. I don't know why I did that. I do things because I just liked the way it sounded at the time, or I was just trying something. Never be afraid to try stuff. I do it all the time. It works out great because I learn. Learning is the greatest. Try it sometime. So here I just use this LA2A. As you can see, it goes from 0 to 100 look where my knob is. It's at like 25. 25. I have 75 more points I could use, but I'm not. Why? Because I recorded at a good volume. And this is at like 43, 44. It could be at 100. That's that peak reduction. But it's not, because I recorded at a good volume. It's not too loud. It's not too low. It's at a good volume. So again, your recording is everything. Make sure you're recording properly. All right. I think that's enough. That was my espresso breakdown of my vocals and this chain. If you have any questions, comment, concerns, please leave them in the comment section. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All right. I need you to add to this algorithm to get my views up. I need you guys. That's plain and simple. I don't just want you. Like, I want you to do it, obviously, but I need you to do it so that I can help more people. Like, that's all this is about. Like, if you know me, I don't really care about the views. Like, yeah, I do care. Like, I want this to get to like 1 billion views, but it's just not. But I do enjoy when a lot of people watch my stuff and critique me. Like, I hope there's something in here that somebody's disagreeing with me with, so I can have a conversation about, what they think and what I think and the difference. Some people are just dumb and just don't know any better. And some people are insanely smart and they teach you something. So I hope I have the latter. I hope somebody teaches me something, because I don't know everything. I'm not even going to pretend like I know everything. And I think anybody who thinks they know everything knows nothing. Simple as that. Well, anyways, thank you for watching this, and stay tuned for another one. Peace.